March 26, 1976, United States, Oklahoma. Spiro 2, SPC NUS, NCDC Grazulis. Frame homes were swept away and 104,000-pound coal cars were tossed Grazulis. Originally rated this tornado as an F4, but later upgraded it to F5. April 19, 1976, United States, Texas, Brownwood, Aries, SPC, NUS, NCDC, Grazulis, 1976, Brownwood tornado. Homes were swept away with only a bathtub remaining on one of the foundations. Several teenagers were caught in the open and were picked up and thrown 1,000 YD. But survived. Mesquite trees were shredded. Grazulis originally rated this tornado as an F4, but later upgraded it to F5. June 13, 1976, United States, Iowa, Jordan, Aries, SPC, NUS, NCDC, Grazulis, Fujita. Homes were swept away and well-built farms reportedly vanished without a trace in a conversation with Grazulis concerning the worst tornadoes. This tornado was reportedly mentioned by Fujita as having produced some of the most intense instances of damage he surveyed, along with the 1974 Xenia tornado. April 4, 1907, United States, Alabama, Birmingham. Terran 22, SPC, NUS, NCDC, Grazulis, Fujita. Tornado outbreak of April 1977. Many homes were swept away, some of which had all of their cinder block walkout basement walls completely swept away as well. Trees were debarked and 2 dump trucks were thrown through the air, along with an example from the 1970 Lubbock tornado. Fujita used a visual example from this tornado to illustrate F5 damage. Fujita surveyed the damage personally, and according to the National Weather Service, he toyed with the idea of rating the Smithfield tornado an F6. April 2, 1982, United States, Oklahoma. Spear, Messer, Golden, Broken Bow, SPC, NUS, NCDC, Fujita. Tornado outbreak of April 2, 3, 1982. A house was swept away with only carpet tacks left on the empty foundation. The F5 rating is disputed because the home was likely not anchored properly, and its destruction probably reflected F3 level winds instead. Due to its appearance, Fujita maintained the F5 rating. Other houses suffered F4 damage. June 7, 8, 1984, United States, Wisconsin, Barneveld, Black Earth 9, SPC, NUS, NCDC, Grazulis, Fujita. Tornado outbreak of June 7, 8, 1984. A cul-de-sac of newly built homes was swept away and vehicles were thrown hundreds of yards. Small trees were debarked as well, like the 1966 Topeka tornado. This event also disproved a myth that a nearby ridge or mound protected an area from tornadoes. May 31, 1985, United States, Ohio. Pennsylvania, Newton Falls, Lordstown, Niles, Wheatland, Hermitage, 18 SPC, NUS, NCDC, Grazulis, Fujita. 1985, United States, Canada tornado outbreak. This tornado caused F5 damage along much of its path through Niles and Wheatland. A shopping center in Niles was obliterated, causing several deaths and sustaining F5 damage. Metal girders at the center twisted and buckled. Well-built anchor bolted homes were swept away in 75,000-pound. Petroleum storage tanks were ripped from their anchors and thrown hundreds of feet. Pavement was scoured from a parking lot, and a steel frame trucking plant was obliterated and partially swept away, with the beam severely mangled. Rotting slips from the plant were found wedged into the remaining asphalt of the parking lot. An airplane wing was carried 10 milles from where it originated. The tornado remains the only F5 or F5 in Pennsylvania history. Grazulis called it a maxi tornado to denote its extreme intensity. Mar 13, 19, United States, Kansas, Castleton, Haven, Burton, Heston 1, SPC, and US, NCDC, Grazulis, Fujita. March 19, late century, United States, tornado outbreak. Many homes and businesses were swept away in town, with only slabs and empty basements remaining. Industrial buildings were obliterated and vehicles were thrown hundreds of yards and stripped down to their frames. Mar 13, 19, United States, Kansas, Gosel 1, SBC, and the West, NCDC, Grazulis, Fujita. March 19, May century, United States, tornado outbreak. Homes were obliterated and swept away, but the F5 rating was assigned due to very intense cycloidal ground scouring. The tornado is considered by some sources to be one of the strongest tornadoes ever surveyed at the time, though little detailed information about the damage is available. Aug 2019, United States, Illinois, Oswego, Plainfield, Crest Hill, Joliet, 29, SBC, and US, NCDC, Grazulis, Fujita. End of part 6.